Yo, let me ask you a question. Do you make beats every day, but they just sound like this? Well, this video will help you, okay? This is 5 techniques I personally use to improve my beats.
Alright, so we're in a project that I just recently made, and the first technique is adding effects to your sound. So this is quite a simple thing, but it really does make a difference. Whether it's compression, EQ, reverb, delay, any of those, just any effects in general, just to shape your sounds and make them more interesting. I have this piano, I'm going to play it with and without sound effects, and you're going to see the difference. So this is without effects. And now with. And as you can hear, the reverb really just adds character, and so does the EQ. You just add character to the sound and just make it more interesting for the listeners to listen to. The reverb I use is Valhalla Supermassive. It's a pretty good free reverb by the legendary Valhalla. So yeah, definitely check it out. And yeah, just the basic EQ just to cut out some lows, and yeah, some mids so it doesn't clash as much. Alright, cool. So the next technique is just use good sounds. And I know it might sound obvious, but really it just helps you out so much if you just have good sounds. You can find these on YouTube, find these on paid kits from places like Cymatics, or even Producer Grind, or different YouTubers such as Ocean, J Cactus, or KBZ. They have really good kits and you should definitely check them out. Let's give some examples of good sounds. This is a good sound. This is a very good clap. I like this clap. And the next one, this is a good 808. This is a good snare. And you can just hear like they have good quality to them. So that's just for drums, but then as in terms of VSTs, Expand is a good VST to have. Addictive Keys is good for pianos. Analog Lab is a sick one. Labs, BBC Symphony Orchestra from Spitfire Audio, sick. What else? Flex is a good stock one. It's not quite as good as like other paid plugins, but it's pretty good. It's like Expand level, to be honest, so it, you know what, it's pretty good. Well, yeah, so just invest some money, or maybe you don't have to spend money, you know what I mean. But yeah, just invest some time at least looking into good sounds, and you know how to get them, whether you source them through the legal ways or the not really illegal, but you know, I'd say immoral ways. But yeah, just get good sounds. It'll make your life so much easier. Alright, so my next technique is make your beats more simple. Okay, just simplify what you're doing. Alright, complicated stuff does sound good, but there's a time and a place for when you're gonna go crazy and when you're gonna lay it back. For instance, a beat bow, go crazy. Boom, like 20 different 808 patterns, 5 different snares. Like, I don't know, man. I don't really do that type of stuff, but I hear it and they go crazy and it's hard. That's because in that place it's good to do that. But if you're making beats for artists or non-musicians, then you should definitely simplify it. Okay, let's use my beat as an example. This is the melody that I have. That's basically the same thing played over and over. And look at the range. The range is very small. Okay, this is the range. This is the range down here. Okay, it's basically just two things playing on top of each other, and it's very simple, catchy as well. Dun 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 dun. You know what I mean? And it just gets in your head, and that's good because it's just simple. If it was more complicated, then it wouldn't be as effective. It might still sound good, don't get me wrong. Basically, in short, just complicate stuff if you're trying to impress other musicians. But if you're just trying to, you know, make beats, make songs, then you gotta leave space for the artists and non-musicians as well. They don't know what you're doing, and like they will like, that sounds bad, if they just don't like the vibe of it. I mean, if it sounds good, it's good, but if they have no knowledge of beats or anything, you know, they just know what sounds good to them, they probably won't like it as much as if you kept it a little bit more simple and just more repetitive and repeated good ideas. Okay, such as this is a good phrase. Like, there's no need to make a whole new one here, just add a little bit of variation at the end, and that's good, you know. This next technique is a really simple one, but a really, I'd say, crucial one, just for making your beats sound more professional and just better in general. So let's go to my beat. Alright, so my beat, you know, is done. Sounds like this. Alright, and it sounds good. I like it. But, you know, that is because I've made it loud. Alright, let's look at these sounds. Not really turned down that much. You know, obviously there's a little bit of leveling to sort of get the mix that I want. But in reality, I'm not turning it down like to here. You know, I'm turning it down to here. Just little adjustments to make it fit better together. But apart from that, everything's hitting pretty loudly. Okay, this is something you need to use your ears for rather than your meters. Because if you just go off your meters, sometimes it might sound a little bit weird. But if you go by ear as well as meters, then it can sound good, because sometimes it will hit 0, but it won't actually sound bad, if you know what I mean. And you just gotta listen for that and just know what's a good clip and what's a bad clip, basically. Yeah, so without the master, it sounds a bit like this. Which, you know, it sounds cool, don't get me wrong, and it would actually be louder. But I did turn it down. So let's look at my mastering chain. My mastering chain is basically a limiter, cranking it, and then into a soft clipper. That's basically my mastering chain. This cranks it, and this soft clips it. And then obviously I've got some EQs just to cut out some low end and high end, which you can't hear, and it will make your beat not be able to hit as hard because there's frequencies there which you can't actually hear. You know, you could argue or leave them in because the bass, you can feel it rather than hear it. But at the same time, you know, nah. And yeah, and just a quick few boosts and cuts just to make the beat fit better for vocals. And then when you turn it on, it just makes it loud, clear, you can hear all the elements. And yeah, just make your beats loud. That's the simple of it, okay? If this is too confusing for you, literally just put a soft clipper and just level the sounds until it sounds good. You don't need to worry about anything else that I've done. Okay, just make your beats louder, because think about it, all the songs on Spotify, you know, they hit a 0, okay? Not all of them, but a lot of your big songs, they're hitting loud, okay? The song is loud, so make your beats loud too, alright? The engineer can clean it up later, but as long as it's loud and clean enough, so it isn't like completely distorted, you know, for instance, like this. Damn. You know, it'll probably sound alright, it'll probably sound good. So yeah, just make your beats loud. Okay, and my next technique is to collaborate, alright? So collaboration is just the best way to improve really quickly and, you know, in a fun way, because you're literally making beats, you're doing what you enjoy. Well, I'm guessing is what I enjoy. So making beats is what I enjoy, it's what I do. I do it, you know, I do it for fun, you know, and I'm starting to make a little bit of money off of it, but you know, at the end of the day, I do it for fun. And yeah, so collaboration is just the cheat code, basically. You know, you get so many gems just from seeing how other people work, seeing how other people make melodies, seeing how people make drums, seeing how other people flip different ideas differently. It's just crazy. Alright, so for instance, you know, oh wow, I can make good piano melodies, but my drums, they don't hit. Guess what? You can send your melody to someone whose drums hit, listen to it, and be like, oh, how do you get your drums to hit? And then they can tell you, and then guess what? Now you've just learned how to make your drums hit. You know, it's just crazy. You know, it's definitely a slept on thing, and you need to wake up and just collab with people. You know, if you're a producer, you know, DM a couple people, you know, every week, just not that many. It's like, yo, man, I like your beats. Yeah, do you wanna collab? I think it'll be fire. And you know, a lot of people will say yes. Okay, especially smaller producers, they'll definitely say yes. Some of them are wet and won't, but most of them will say yeah. You know, obviously you'll get Ed, but you know, doesn't matter. They're gonna be begging your DMs when you're big in it, so. But yeah, collaboration is just a massive gem, and you can just learn a lot of different things from collaborating with people. Yeah.
If any one of these techniques helps you, be sure to let me know down in the comments, and also check out one of these videos because they'll help you too.